This is the Royals Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Kansas City Royals. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in to the Royals Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Chance Liebau, and I'm here to bring you reaction to every single Royals game the rest of the way. Shoot me a follow on Twitter at Chance Liebau. It's right there if you're watching live. It's right there by my name tag. It's at ChanceLiebau. And if you're not here live, do not worry. These episodes always will be uploaded for you to listen to on demand, wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google Podcasts, and Odyssey. We're on all of those. Before we get started, remember to subscribe to the channel. Turn on our notifications so that you get an alert whenever we go live. Thank you guys for joining the show. I would imagine it's going to be a pretty light crowd in terms of live crowd tonight because obviously happy 4th of July to you all. 11:30 here on a 4th of July. No place I'd rather be. Appreciate you guys all for being here. Definitely feel free to join the comments. Let us know your thoughts on the game because I made it my new month resolution to try to be better at getting to these comments. So leave a comment and I'll do my best to respond to the best ones. Before we get into it, we will have to get into what you'll be talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
This offense kind of came out of nowhere. They were really bad last night against the Mariners. It was a pretty good Mariners pitching staff that I don't think it was a very good pitcher they faced from the Mariners last night, but posed a bit of a unique challenge with three different kinds of fastballs. And the Royals struggled to hit it. They had to get to the bullpen. It took a while for their offense to get going, and they got 3 in the 7th, and they were able to win 3-2. Tonight, they got 3 in the 1st. Then they got 3 in the 2nd, and they continued to add on all night long. Vinny had a 3-run homer in the 1st, a 3-run homer in the 4th, and the Royals got just enough offense. Just as much offense as they really needed in the first 2 innings. I would love to see the Royals record when they score 4 more runs this season because they continue when they hit, they win. And we'll get to Kris Bubic in a bit. But this offense finally kicked it into high gear. And I was talking when I was hosting this week, we had our keys to the series, and I said, the top of the lineup has to carry the order. The top of the lineup has to be so much better because they have not gotten anything out of the bottom third of the order. And they showed on the broadcast today. It was on a secondary TV. I was watching a movie and had the Royals on the secondary TV, but was mostly watching the Royals. I didn't get a chance to really zoom in and see all the numbers, but I know that I saw their 23 RBI from the 6, 7, 8, 9, or the 7, 8, 9 hole. 23 RBI behind second worst in baseball. So you're not getting any kind of run production out of that bottom half of the order, the bottom third of the order, and the bottom half really as well. But tonight you didn't really need it because India had a really good game, got on base 3 times, 1 for 2 with a hit by pitch and a sac bunt, got him on. Bobby Witt Jr. is absolutely on fire right now. 3 for 5. You get 6 ribbies out of Vinny, and then a hit out of Michael, 2 from Jac, which we'll get to him in a moment. Mark Canha goes yard finally for his first time of the year. For being a lefty specialist, you would think that every once in a while he'd go yard, but doesn't seem to do it very often. I'm still selling all of my Mark Canha stock. Don't be buying any here anytime soon. And then they got just enough out of Canha, Fermin, and John Rave get 4 hits combined and a couple of extra base hits as well. So I think you just got enough of what you needed from the bottom half of the order. Now, I think that with Drew Waters not there anymore, I think that's the last we see of Drew Waters this season, barring something unforeseen. I would imagine that MJ Melendez or Joey Wiemer gets the call when Luke Maile goes back to AAA. But Drew Waters went down to AAA because they needed some secure insurance behind Freddie because Salvi's been dealing with, I think I read, a hip injury. So having a third catcher on the roster like Luke Maile, who to a certain extent has been one of their better hitters at times this season. He's been pretty solid. The only issue is he can only catch. But I just think that tonight everything kind of fell into place. Erod has not been very good this season. Didn't have his best outing. A lot of stuff in the middle of the plate. And the Royals, give them their credit. They deserve their flowers as well. The Royals were able to capitalize on pitches right down the meat of the zone. They haven't been able to do that all season long. Brent McKenzie, thank you. Appreciate it, Brent. We've got researchers in the chat. Brent McKenzie, 18-2 with 5 or more runs. Brent, thank you very much. You get a flower. You get a firework for you. Thank you very much, Brent. But yeah, 18-2, and they score 5 or more runs, and they did that in the first 2 innings tonight. I heard Ryan say it late in the game, 6 runs in the first 2 innings, the most this season. And that's really all you needed, especially with what we saw from Kris Bubic on the mound. The offense was just as good as you needed them to be. And Vinny tapping into his power here in the last month or so. I mean, the offense gets going when Bobby Witt Jr. is hot. I mean, we all know what Bobby Witt Jr. is in July. July is kind of Bobby Witt Jr.'s month. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was when he homered off Yohan Duran, the grand slam. I can't remember if that was July or August. But this is kind of the time of year where, last year Bobby hit over 400 or so in the month of July. So Brent taking credit from the broadcast. They must be watching the show here as well. But on Bobby Witt Jr., last year is when he really got kicked into high gear, when he not only started playing like an MVP candidate, but one of the best hitters we've seen at the shortstop position since A-Rod. And you're not asking Bobby Witt Jr. to do that this season. You're just asking him to do just enough, set the table for this offense. He doesn't have to carry the water, but he has to be good enough that this offense can thrive around him. Gary Boyd says Garcia holding his helmet and getting thrown out at third is a weird base running fetish with him. The only aggravation I felt tonight. And I kind of get that. The Michael Garcia sliding thing. Honestly, it's one of those things where it's one of the, I don't know, it's a hard habit to break, especially when you play $162. I mean, it's a hard habit to break when you're uncomfortable sliding. Garcia is obviously not comfortable sliding on his chest. I mean, I think he's got a lot of tattoos on his chest, so maybe that's a thing he's worried about. But never slides head first. And it's weird with Michael, but also he is one of the smartest base runners on this team, one of the best base runners in all Major League Baseball. So I give him a pass. If it was Vinny or Fermin or somebody who's really slow and doesn't carry their weight on the base paths, but it's Michael Garcia. I give him a pass because at the end of the day, he creates more runs than he costs them on the bases. But you also have to appreciate the fact that it was in a 9 spot day for the Royals. So very pleased by the offense. This was, exactly what the doctor ordered today. They needed something like this to happen because it wasn't going to happen at home. This offense has no power at the plate at home. Nobody has eclipsed Jordan Beck yet this season at home. Or actually, no, Vinny has. Vinny has finally eclipsed him. But again, they needed this kind of offensive performance. They got it. Eduardo Rodriguez was not sharp tonight. And for the first time really all season, the Royals made a unspectacular, rough outing from a pitcher turn into a really big outing for their offense. So Royals win 9-3. When we come back from the break, we'll talk about both Kris Bubic and Jac Caglianone. That's coming up next on the Royals Postcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Have you ever decided at the last minute to head to a ball game with friends or family? Maybe it's game day and you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands. That's exactly where Gametime comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group of friends to come with you. Gametime makes it possible. Gametime makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch, and they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. Gametime is the official ticketing partner of Locked On MLB, making it easy to browse the app for an exciting upcoming MLB game, like the Royals Pirates series at the K this week. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. I thought Kris Bubic was really sharp today. That was the best I've seen him because he had all three of his pitches for strikes. He didn't have that against the Dodgers. He didn't have that against the Rangers. And when he's not sharp with his command, that's when Kris Bubic really gets in trouble. He's not going to overwhelm you with a upper 90s fastball and a slider that makes you grit your teeth. He is kind of a finesse pitcher with a power arms kind of stats, I guess you could say. He's got a lot of strikeouts this season. It's been the one thing he's gotten a lot of this year. But his command has not been sharp. I think the best version of Kris Bubic is what we saw tonight. He didn't value strikeouts that much, and he still ended up with 6 of them through 7 innings. He did not come out sharp early. I was a bit worried, especially after the bullpen was pretty taxed over the last series in Seattle, but very, very, very happy with what I saw from Kris Bubic today. Felt encouraged with where he's at, but I'm not really – I don't think he is what we saw. I think what we saw in May was a snapshot of a season. I don't think that is the finished product or the full season that we should be expecting from a guy that has never had an ERA below 4 in a full MLB season. So I liked what I saw from Kris Bubic today. I think he is still – one of the better arms on the staff, a guy that you value going into 26, a guy you do not trade this season because his value is up there for the Royals. And he's a guy that I think they could extend because you don't have to pay that new team premium, that new team tax. That's not a thing. That's not like something in the CBA, but that's something that you have that loyalty with Kris Bubic. These guys stuck with me after I was a train wreck as a starter. Brian Sweeney comes in, fixes me. These guys stuck with me after Tommy John, after my first 4 starts of my first year with Brian Sweeney. These guys stuck with me when I was just a bulk reliever in 2024 and a half season and continued to push me to be a starter in 2025. I think there's some loyalty. I think there is some friendliness between Kris Bubic and this Royals front office that could have you or him with an extension similar a la what Danny Duffy got from the Royals way back in the mid-2010s. But obviously, adjust for inflation, I would say it's probably about a $20 million a year annual deal. And then Jac Caglianone tonight. I really liked Cags' ABs tonight, especially the last hit. I was talking with our guys at 92.3 with our keys to the series, and I said that I like to see Jac Caglianone work the other field, work the opposite field. And he did that tonight. I don't know if it was on purpose or on accident on that last AB, but he kind of knuckleballs one away. He didn't pull off on a whole lot of pitches tonight. His ABs were unspectacular, but man, you just got to see a couple balls go through. You just got to see some confidence in the kid. And I understand that he's not lived up to the expectations, but I think Royals fans in 2029 aren't going to give a rat's behind when he's an all-star. I think that what Jac Caglianone has to realize, and I think this is young players as a whole and people, fans as a whole, is there's more to baseball than just today's game. And I get in trouble with that because I'm doing a show every day. But there's more to baseball than just today's game. There's more to Jac Caglianone's career than just the game on July 4th, 2025. There is going to be a long time for Jac Caglianone to have slumps, peaks, valleys. He's going to go through it all. And so for him to get down on himself, obviously not the start you want, but man, I think that a guy like Salvi Mark Canha, I get it. He went deep tonight, but man, provide some value a little bit. Be a little bit valuable. Be the veteran in the clubhouse of a team that's got a bunch of young guys. Go out and, tell Jac Caglianone, hey, it's okay to go through a 1 for 38 because on the horizon is a 20 for 38 with 10 bombs. That's on the horizon that's possible for a guy like Jac Caglianone. He can't get too caught up in the minutia of today's game, yesterday's game, this week's series. It's a long season. Jac Caglianone is going to have a long time in the big leagues. Obed talks about how he's so hard on himself, really mad after his 4th at bat. Listen, they're human. I understand it's kind of the lazy take, but he's human. I mean, I get it. It's frustrating. He wants to be out there. I think that when there's a hit frenzy and you're not as much of a part of it, it can kind of be frustrating, especially when you're in a slump. When you're seeing everybody else just teeing off on a guy and you're kind of having to roll over to second base to see a ground ball through the hole and then knuckleballing one into left field. Everybody else is squaring up balls going crazy, and you're struggling to make a whole lot of contact against this guy. I can see why that would be a little bit frustrating. It's a little bit of, everybody talks about a fight at the bat rack. Jac Caglianone tonight, he just didn't have his best outing, but he went 2 for 5. I think that we have to be okay with an ugly 2 for 5 with a 22-year-old rookie that a year ago had never played a professional baseball game. A year ago, Jac Caglianone had never played a Major League Baseball game. I think he's perfectly fine. He's got to learn. He's got to learn one way or the other, and I think experience is the best way to do that. Northern Missouri Outdoors says, Bubic, game 1 starter in the playoffs for us this year. I don't know. It's a good question. I would go Reagans. Cole Reagans is the ace of the staff when he's healthy. If Cole Reagans is healthy, I know that we're still waiting on that check-in, I guess, that update with Cole Reagans. But if I were starting a postseason series, if I had the Matt Quatraro, notebook, I'd go Lugo, I'd go Bubic, and I'd probably go Waka, and then have Cameron and Lorenzen as some long relief pieces. But yeah, if the playoffs started today, Bubic is going game 2, just because Seth Lugo's been an ace this year and was last year and has postseason experience as a starter. Seth Lugo would be the ace of the postseason staff, but right now, not exactly a topic that we need to take it one game at a time, take it one postcast at a time, guys. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But yeah, I think Kris Bubic has definitely earned himself a spot as a postseason starter. If the season did not end today and Cole Reagans was healthy when the postseason started, I'd go Reagans, Lugo, Bubic, and then Waka. That would be my 4-man rotation for the postseason, and just kind of work from there, because I feel like the Royals have a good problem, which is they have a lot of options in a potential postseason series. Now the offense just has to pick it up, and they did today. So some fireworks for you Royals fans. Please have a happy and safe 4th of July. I know there's only 14 minutes left for you Central Time Zoners, but please have a happy and safe 4th of July. And if you're hearing this afterwards, please come to the YouTube page, subscribe to the channel, like the video, turn on notifications. We want you to be a part of these because these are really fun to be a part of. I will answer most of your comments. So be sure to hop in once in a while if you don't make it live. Tomorrow, it'll probably be around 6 o'clock when we go live. Afternoon, first pitch for the Royals. Taking a look, I believe, 3:10 first pitch tomorrow. I would assume we're probably here by 6, out by 6:15. And then, then it's the weekend. So I appreciate you guys for hopping on. Enjoy your 4th of July. Be back tomorrow, postcast for the Royals and Diamondbacks game 2 as the Royals look to take the series. I'm Chance Liebau. This has been the Royals Postcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.